Hello there and welcome back to another gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free baking video. How are we doing today? Today I'm going to be making some lemon sugar cookies for Easter, and so I will be using my Easter cookie cutters, which I showed you in my Easter haul on Monday, and I will link that in the description for you. You will be needing the following equipment: some scales, some baking paper, some spray oil, 2 cookie sheets or baking trays, whatever you have access to, a grater or zester, a large mixing bowl, a wooden spoon or an electric hand whisk, a spatula, a rolling pin, some Easter cookie cutters, and a cooling rack. You will also be needing the following ingredients: 113 grams of butter softened to room temperature. I like to use lactose-free butter. 113 grams of caster sugar, half a medium-sized egg beaten. I will show you how to do this in just 1 second. The zest of 1 lemon, 265 grams of gluten-free self-raising flour, and some icing sugar for rolling. So, let's go! So to first measure out our egg, we are going to need to turn our scales on, put our new bowl with nothing in it onto it and set the scales to 0, which mine are. Scrape the whole of our egg into this new bowl. And that equals 46, so half of 46, half of 40 is 20, half of 6 is 3. So I need to measure out 23 grams into my original bowl. Set that to 0, which it is, and measure out 23 grams. 23, there we go. So now set this off to the side until we're ready to use it. First things first, measure out and prepare all of your ingredients so that they're completely ready for you to use, and then preheat your oven to 180 degrees C on a conventional oven, 160 degrees C on a fan oven, or gas mark 4. So now that we've done all that, it is now time to prepare our trays. So for this we will be needing our baking trays or cookie sheets, our spray oil, our baking paper, and if you are using baking trays you will also be needing a pen or pencil and some scissors. So all we are going to do is spray down our cookie sheets, grab our baking paper, tear off a bit that's no longer needed. Completely forgot that was there. There we go. Measure out to the size of our cookie sheet. Tear it off. You can use scissors if you want to, but I'm personally just going to tear it off. Place it on top. Press it down. And there we go. Repeat this with your other cookie sheet and then place them off to the side until we're ready to bake. So now that we've done all that nasty prep work, it is now time to actually begin making our cookies. So for this we will be needing all of our cookie ingredients, our spatula, our large mixing bowl, and our wooden spoon or electric hand whisk. So to start with, we are going to add our softened butter to our large mixing bowl. Followed by our caster sugar. Scraping down the sides to make sure it all goes in there. There we go. And now we're going to mix these together until they are light and fluffy. So now that this is all done, we're just going to add our half an egg. And we're going to mix this together until well combined. Now we're going to add our lemon zest. And we're going to mix until the lemon zest is well distributed throughout our mixture. So now we're going to add our flour a little bit at a time, mixing all the time until our mixture is well combined, forming a stiff ball of dough. There we go, start with that. So now I'm just going to scrape down the sides of my flour bowl so that I don't lose anything. Followed by my mixing bowl. Again, so we lose as little as possible to the washing up. And now I'm going to mix one final time for good luck. So now that this is all done and will begin to form a dough as soon as I start pushing it together, there we go, I am going to need to grab my icing sugar. So now that I've got my icing sugar, I'm just going to open it and then sprinkle it on my chopping board because this surface doesn't take rolling out very well. You can use flour. Come on, open me. You can use flour if you want to, but I actually found that made the cookies quite dry, so it was easier to just use some icing sugar. Okay, so now I'm just going to place my dough onto my surface. There we go. Perfect. And now I'm going to need my rolling pin. So now I've got my rolling pin, I am going to place my icing sugar onto my dough and then rub it into my rolling pin. And then you're going to want to roll this about 1/4 of an inch thick. So I can't remember the full measurements of these, hopefully it's written on them. 10 millimeters. That one. So the red one for future Vickiie, you should have got that ready to begin with. So 1/4 of an inch also equals, what did it say? 6 millimeters. And that is why I love this rolling pin, because now it won't go any lower than that. So now roll this out until it equals that measurement. So now that this is all done, I am going to need my palette knife, my cookie sheets, and my Easter cookie cutters. So now, using whichever cookie cutters you want, we are going to cut out our shapes as close to the edge as possible so we waste as little dough as possible. Let's move these here so I know which ones I've used. Okay, so that's about all the room I have. So now I am just going to, using my palette knife, because they may be a bit flimsy, I'm going to scooch my palette knife underneath. Come on, lovely. There we go, and place them onto my cookie sheet. So now that I've shown you one, I'm just going to show you a couple more, and then I'm going to skip to all of this lot being on here. So that's my first look on my cookie sheet. I spaced them apart slightly as I don't want them to grow into each other. Obviously, using self-raising flour, they will grow slightly. So repeat the process that you've just done with the rest of your dough, placing them onto your second cookie sheet. Then once that is done, we're going to place them into our preheated oven for 14 minutes. After that time, we're going to take them out of the oven, leaving them on their tray, placing them onto a cooling rack for 10 minutes. Then we're going to take our cookies off of our cookie sheets, placing them onto our cooling rack to cool completely. And that is it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, as I love them all and wouldn't put them there if I didn't, including the recipe for these lovely cookies, where you will be able to buy all of the flour and equipment you will need for this recipe. If you do make these at home, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. Use the hashtag bakingwithvickiie so that I can see all your lovely creations. Let me know in the comments below of anything else you'd like to see me make, gluten, lactose or yeast free, as I do them all. And finally, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!